Hello everyone, my name is Sasha. This video is designed to be a recap of the information from the Forever Conscious Research channel. I wanted to make this video because I find that there's no concise little video just to refresh our minds on what exactly to do and just to bring more awareness to said topic. So without further ado, let's begin. I also have a message after the video. So rule number 1, do not have any emotional attachments to anything on the earth when you die. Doing so, having an emotional attachment can cause you, and if you're thinking about it, can cause you to tune to the light and pull you in, because we're like radio towers. We function, we tune in to everything that we think and we go to those locations. So don't have any emotional attachment as well, because beings themselves can use that to guilt trip you, and by imposing massive amounts of guilt to reincarnate against it, and to reincarnate willingly, even from imposing such strong emotions. So don't have any attachment to anything on the earth when you die. Rule number 2 is don't interact or shake the hand or take anything from any being that appears to you. Just don't interact with any being, as anything of any interaction can represent a contract. As example, in one episode was like a child who had a near-death experience, and there was a bee that appeared to him, and the bee gave him a slice of bread, I'm pretty sure, and once he took the bread, it sent him back into his body. So anything can represent a form of reincarnation when it comes to interacting with the being on the outside. So don't interact with any beings, no matter if you know them. You don't need them to go home. So rule number 3 is when you die, and before you die, I say to do this. Say with intention, I revoke consent to reincarnation. I revoke consent to all things related to the earth. I don't consent to reincarnation, and things along like that. In doing so, you'll regain all of your power that were still stuck within possibly stuck within contracts. So I think for the most part, all contracts at the end of this life would be automatically undone, because it's the last incarnation for us, because we're aware of it. So it's not like there's a contract that goes to multiple lives that it's still stuck to you from when you were ignorant and you fell back into the light. So there's no contract that would follow you anymore, as it's the last one. But still, do this so when you die, revoke consent to all things related to the earth. Then you'll regain all of your sovereignty. Sovereignty is a tangible force in the universe. Whichever rule are we on, 3 or 4. Rule number 4 or 5 is set your intention to become all-knowing when you die. Doing so, you should, after revoking consent, this will make it so that you truly become all-knowing, because you're free now. That's the super intention that you need to do, is to become all-knowing, because then you'll know exactly what to do if there's something that's unforeseen that we don't know still. So that's the most important one, is to become all-knowing. So, and rule number 6, I'd say, or whichever I'm at, is to meditate on certain intentions to set up the death that's going to happen. So what I mean by that is that we can set up the environment that we're going to expect to see when we die, as the environment that appears to you is one that you expect. So we can completely manipulate what's going to happen. So with intent, meditate on these. So I never encounter the reincarnation trap. I never encounter any beings after I die. I never encounter the reincarnation system after I die. I am all-knowing after I die. My eternal freedom is guaranteed. I get eternal freedom, and stuff along those lines. This will set up an environment which you can make it so that you don't even see the reincarnation trap. No beings, no nothing, just easy to go, become all-knowing, and then you're free to go home. It's as if you're one of the lucky ones who's attained the enlightenment and saw God, or some super dimension like I have, your consciousness has been expanded already to beyond all-knowing consciousness. So you'll be all-knowing the moment that you do exit the body. So I'll be making a video on my higher dimensional experiences after this one, probably. So that's all I had to say when it comes to the rules of reincarnation. But now for my message, which is to the doomers. And the doomers, what I mean, is the people that are at a certain point in this journey. So there's, say, like, hold on. So you got the alien phase, and then you wake up from that into the New Age phase. But then you go up into the anti-New Age phase as you wake up from those lies. But then the anti-New Age phase can transition into a doomer phase. And this doomer phase can possibly not end for certain individuals because they trap themselves into a certain way of thinking. But then there's the true spiritual renaissance phase, which I went under. But you could still say I'm a doomer in some ways. So here's my message. The reincarnation trap is a non-issue as long as you're aware of it and its rules. The reality of this realm is that it has always been planned out from the very beginning, like a line of dominoes. You came from a point of all-knowing and foresaw all that will be according to all actions that could be taken. There is no being here against your will or by accident. No matter the lives you had, they are all what you wanted as a supreme God from the beginning. The same way you're aware of the reincarnation trap now is because that higher all-knowing part of you is still there, just as guidance, bringing you back to your true home just as you planned when you're all-knowing. An all-knowing being is not an all-experiencing being. That's the reason we are here now, to experience. This realm goes through ages of truth and lies, for both good and evil. Who is God to deny the existence of evil too? We have a right to their heaven as much as ours. All of reality follows physics. Time and space must oscillate between good and bad, the ages. It is the laws of physics. So that's my message to people who are like, we were tricked into coming here, or we came here because we're bored. Like, no, there's no, number one, in Supreme Realms there's no boredom at all. And we certainly didn't come here because we were tricked, but maybe you came here because you were tricked, depending what your pre-Earth experience was. But from the reality of it is that it all started from the eternal all-knowing point, and it set off on a journey knowing all that would be and all that will be, according to all the actions that could be taken. And now we find ourselves here at the end of it to go back home. So it's okay. Everything is good in the end. You got the good ending. Yeah, we do know these things. It's not all in our brain. It's not all matrix, and then we don't actually know anything. We truly know these things, and we're going to get to go home and be free in our eternal heavens forever. So, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my next other videos.